Hey, it's Jane Davenport. Welcome. Second attempt. I think the first one was going a bit slow. Let's see if this goes any better. So I'm just really happy to be here and to be able to tell you in entirety all about my Making Faces collection, this new art supply collection. How do I turn the comments off? Supply collection. How do I turn the comments off actually, guys? Because, hello, I'm looking at the comments and then I'm getting distracted. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Okay. So, right, okay, I'm actually completely discombobulated and frazzled, and overexcited, and you know when you feel like you're floating about a foot off the ground, like your feet aren't attached to the actual earth. That is how I feel. Attached to the actual earth. That is how I feel at this very moment. Bear with me. I will come back down to earth. So what we're going to do this morning is, I was going to welcome you like I am right now, and then we're going to go to my table in my studio, and I want to show you through the new collection, talk about why and wherefore, and all the what's and dots about what's happening, the color names, all that kind of fun stuff, and also go through some of my art journals that I've been using all of this new collection in for the last, at least 12 months when it's been in development. It's been actually probably longer than that, but yeah, like using all the new formulas, testing the colors, making sure everything passes the mixed media test and is exactly what I wanted. So let me start with the whole premise of Making Faces, which is makeup inspired art supplies. And why makeup? Well, I have always been fascinated and have adored the cosmetic counters in all of the gorgeous department stores. And it's so interesting now. There are so many independent brands, and so you've got all the big majors, all the big design houses, and all the big, you know, traditional makeup brands that have been around forever and a day. But there are so many new ones, and you know, with all the beauty influencers that are on YouTube that I love watching, and you know, bringing out all their own things, there's just so much innovation going on, and all of that color, and a lot of inspiration comes from the art world for the beauty industry. And I just felt that it was time to take back a lot of that inspiration and my love and passion for color. And there's just there's just something fun about makeup and about beauty. It's something that makes us feel positive. I know for myself, if I'm having a bit of a day, like this morning, for instance, you know, I have got this big launch and I washed my hair, and my hair just went completely frizzy, like hilarious. And how do I cope? How do I, you know, not panic? How do I come back to myself? Luckily, I had a new lipstick. I had a beautiful new lipstick. It was in pink sparkly packaging, and it was called Santa Baby, the color name, and so I've put that on. And it just has brought me back to myself. And that's the same way that I feel about art supplies in general, but I want that magic. I wanted to take that magic that's part of a new lipstick, a new eyeshadow, a little bit of highlighter shimmer. I want to take that innovation and that fun and apply it to something that I adore. I was nearly going to say equally, but I adore art supplies way more than makeup. So hence making faces. And of course it's perfect for the kind of art that I do and maybe that you enjoy as well. If you follow me, then you probably love drawing faces also. But of course you're not locked in to using this new collection with anything in particular. You can use it however you like. I, of course, can only come from my own point of view. So I'm going to show you how I use things, how I won't say intended for them to be used because that's locking them in to a way, but how I use them. And I'm coming up with new ways how to use them. And I've also got an amazing Facebook group, which I encourage you to join if you're not a member of already. It's called Jane Davenport Mixed Media, and there's 22,000 amazing people. It's really positive, it's politics free. We just share our art that's created with Jane Davenport art supplies. And seeing seeing the way people are already using this new collection, I'm learning new things. People post videos, they post descriptions of what they're doing. I've had videos of people actually, their shopping hauls and that excitement. So it's a place where you can feel free, guilt-free, completely guilt-free to share your love of art supplies, which is called rainbow artists actually. If you're an art supply junkie like me, you have rainbow artists. The severe form, the acute form, is also having to arrange everything in rainbow formation. When I take you to my studio desk, you'll see that is exactly what I have. You might have it too. Okay, so a little bit about the collection. The collection is an exclusive with Michael's stores. It's at select Michael's stores. You can find the list for which stores have that on my website, janedavenport.com, under the help menu. There is where do I find Jane's things, and one of the selections is the Making Faces collection. Just over half of all of the Michael stores have the collection at the moment. Who knows what will happen in the future? Maybe it will go to more of them. I don't know. That, of course, is not my decision. I'm just so thrilled and delighted to have an end cap and just such support from the biggest arts and crafts retailer on the planet. And yeah, it's amazing because it's quirky. It's really new and different, and it's just fun to have something that has been in my mind, in my brain, as a wow, wouldn't this be cool if, to being able to pack it all up in a custom designed bag for it all and traipse around the world with it. It's like, it blows my mind that this is the reality. So stay watching if you would like to find out what the Arttober, I've got so much happening this month, I had to rename it Arttober. We have Arttober, January and Mermaid for different things of the month, of the year. So we've got, I've totally lost my train of thought. I'm completely overexcited. What was I talking about?
Art supplies? Art
supplies. I think I was about to tell you. Oh, yeah. So stay watching and I'll show you my journals, how I've been using the things, all of the new things, and at the end I'm going to give you the prompt for Arttober. That's what I was saying, Arttober. And yeah, then for everyone that does all of the prompts for this month, we will be giving you a whole bag. That's the collection. There's also other pieces that don't fit in here, but let's say, you know, most of it fits down into this. It's incredible. This plus a big basket of goodies from my first two collections, and we'll probably put in a little bit of my Artmology collection as well. So it's a massive prize, and that is for people who do all of the prompts that are in my mixed media group. It's just a little fun thing. So you have to go and you have to join that mixed media group if you want to join in on that prize, because that's where Arttober is happening. Okay, so that I'll do at the end. Can you help make sure that I tell everyone what the prompt is?
Yes.
At the end. Okay, now I'm going to take this camera with me. Hello. And take you through. I might flip it around. Okay. So just so you know where I was sitting out here. Oh, I better grab my bag of delights. And that's my little couch coming through the studio. Oh, look at my cute little Alice in Wonderland doorstop. I have my unicorn up here. I have a lady in a cowboy hat. I've got my beautiful Italian vintage Valentine typewriter. My little, all my different things, pencils, blah, blah, blah. It's actually pretty tidy at the moment. And let's pop this. So I've got a little holder here for the camera. I'm going to pop that up here. And I think I already had it in position. Awesome. Everything okay, guys? It's all good? Okay. So let's start with how everything looks in the stores. And I just want to give a massive shout out to my team at Spellbinders. We worked so hard, tirelessly, on making this collection. What's inside the packet's absolutely fantastic, but also the actual packaging and the way that it all looks, so that it feels like something fun, inspiring, a little bit luxurious. You know, so it's got that makeup inspiration. So it's got the gold foiling, the matte packaging in many cases. This is just some examples. It's such a beautiful display when you walk along in the Michael stores and you see it. I'm just going to pop those things behind me. I'm going to need this in a second. Pop this behind me. Some of the, let's have a look at this little guy here. This is the Pallet Pastel. I might start, should I start with her? Yes. Let's start with the Pallet Pastels. I think these probably are the crowning glories. I think these are what stand out the most when you come along and you see the collection. Obviously, they are inspired by eyeshadow. And eyeshadows are, there's just all new technology that's part of these. These aren't technically exactly eyeshadows. They are formulated for us, for artists, but the inspiration is eyeshadows. However, just like eyeshadows, or good ones, these are cruelty-free, so no testing on animals. And look at this, look at this, look at this. Look, I can have all of these colours right next to me as I work. That's 72 colours, and I've designed the little packaging so that it sits easily like this next to you, so that you can have, usually with pastels, they're massive and they just take up so much space on a workspace, unless you're a pastel artist. I just wasn't using mine, even though I've got many beautiful pastels. Now, these will work beautifully with everything else that you already have, whatever other pastels you have. This just solves a massive problem for myself. I love pastels. I don't like the space they take up. Solution. So, let's take it back. That's called the Pallet Pastels. They're all of the Pallet Pastels. This is Birthday Suit. This one is chilled with the cool colours. This one is lit up. For some reason, I was just thinking of Louis Litt then from Suits. How he was trying to make that a thing. And it actually became a thing. So actually, this is how I work with them. I put the colours this way. So I've got lit up, chilled. And this is Mineralize. This is a baked pastel. So this is how we get the shimmer. So it's got all duochromes in it because it has two colours. So you get a changeant effect and a shimmering look. It's beautiful. So now that I have this on my fingers, I'm just going to put a little bit of eyeshadow right on my beautiful girl here. I'm going to give her a little bit of this lilac. I'm going to use my fingers. I might add a little bit of, little bit goes a long way, right? Just a little soft touch. Now with these, you can use several things in the collection to apply them. You can either use the new brushes. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3. This is the Mermalicious brush set. And where's the one with my name on it? Haha, have you? This is the new Mermalicious brush set. You can use these with your pastels. This will give you a very light, feathery, soft application, the lightest application of them all. This is soft, and it's going to be a very light little feeling. I'm going to add a little bit of warmth on here. Now, if this was makeup, you would pick up the color. It's highly pigmented, and you would tap it off. If you watch all the makeup gurus, they all do this tap tap, and I love hearing the tap tap. We don't want to do that because we don't want the product to float away. So that little bit of excess, we can continue to work into the surface. I'm working in one of my journals, very, very soft and subtle when you're using the brushes. So I can use this brush, depending on how big the face is. And I love to use this one when I'm using pastels to zhoosh away any excess. I'm hardly touching the paper though. If I rub this on, I'll rub off the pastel. So I'm almost using this to fan it away. If I blow it with my mouth, any little spittles, any little moisture in my mouth could end up on here, and I could make a little spot in there. So I use this very often. I also use this to paint with, but I like to use it to wipe away, brush away the little flotsam and jetsam. The other great blender is the Batten Blender. So I like to think of these as having a clean fingertip at my disposal because, you know, I get, my hands get very full of all lovely supplies. So I like to use this as a little bit of a clean fingertip, but it also has a different application than compared to your finger. So let me just show you this. So I'm going to pick up some of this color called Kawaii. It has this kind of look, and let me show you with the blender. Different, very, very different look. Can you see that on screen, Gus?
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm just going to pick up some of the pastel with the brush. This will be very soft, very, very light and powdery. And even softer with this brush because the bristles are longer. Such a difference even just with the two brushes. So that's these, that's the Batten Blenders. So these are a foam tip. They've been specially made. They're awesome. Beautiful soft foam. And then basically almost the same material is used in a different format for my blend-in set. So I'll show you one here first, how these look. So there are 3, I'm sorry these are looking a little bit non-perfect now. They look so cute when they first arrive and they're all perfect. You can wash them off. But, yeah, these have been very joyfully used. There's all of these different shapes, so you've got all of these different angles, so you can cut in and use softer shapes, etc. I do a lot of stamping with my inks with this one. That's why it's got all these dark colors on it, passing through the stencils, which is what I did for her. So these are a softer density, and just because of the shape, this one feels really quite soft. This one is a little bit denser, and then this one is really quite dense. They're all different densities, and this one has this point so that you can get in and work in finer little details. So there's all different fun things to play with, but let's put a little bit of, let's use this one. We'll use the same color, so I'm just going to load up that color. I mean, look at that color. Mwah! I love you so much. And drag that on, you get a different effect again. Pounce, 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 pounce. Let's do it with this one as well, just to show you the different look. So it gets into the paper a little bit more. This is a watercolor paper. Once you've had your fun with applying these pastels, then you will want to use a fixative to set them. And we were working on my own fixative, and that hopefully will happen in the future. In the meantime, any matte fixative will do the trick, or a workable fixative sometimes it's called. The reason I say a matte surface is so you can work over the top of it. If you use something that's shiny or isn't a matte or a workable surface, if you want to use some add more pastel or something else, it gets a little bit difficult. And this one we just can do some light sprays. I don't tend to bother about fixative until I've basically almost finished, but I'm doing quite light application and building up and building up. One of the gorgeous things about the Palette Pastels is you can erase them, and you can use different erasers to get different effects. Now before you go in, make sure your eraser is clean, so just erase. And I've also got this little fine one, and you can go in and just carve out some of the colours. So I'm just going to carve out a little bit of highlight here, and you can remove something. So if you feel like you make a mistake or you get too much, you know, pastel around the edges, or you want to clean that up, it's very easy to do that. Once you've put the fixative on though, that spray fixative, you can't chisel in and erase things to that extent. And where I've lifted up that highlight, if I want to add a little bit on or get it in a different colour, I can go back over it like so. I've got all this beautiful pink, so I'm going to do a bit of blush contouring is the big new thing. First of all, it's contouring, then it was non-touring, where you didn't contour, and now I've just noticed people are starting to use their blush as contour again. I like lots of blush. I think it's very pretty. Okay, so that is a little introduction to these pastels. And I love how they open up like a book. This is all intentional. This little size is all intentional. They come with some swatches, but also we have them as a download. Well, I'm just in the process of putting them up. This is a little printout, so then you can print it out and print it on whatever paper, because every paper you use, it's going to look different. The pastels will look a little different, behave differently. You can put them on clear gesso. You can prepare the surface. I'm just going to pop these away in the Palette Hotel, which you can't see, but I can. I do have some other pastels that I do want to show you. I love these so much. These are the Shimmering Mermaid Make a Splash, is this colorway. So these have a metallic sheen to them. And this is the Fish Tech. Can you see the mermaid tail? Isn't that cute? Now let me show you some of these colors. Let's just turn this page. So this has, you can see the shimmer in there. This coral, oh my gosh. For eyes, it's just so pretty. It's tear duct color. Look at that beautiful color. This beautiful. This is my favorite eyeshadow color. Oh, 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 gorgeous. So some of the colors are sheerer and some are more opaque. That has to do with the pigments, but it's also me working on the formulas and how things go together. So some of the colors I want to be sheer and some I wanted to be a bit more opaque. So this one here, I can show it on my arm, might be the best way to do it. It's quite an opaque coverage. Oh, I need to get a different one that I've got a bit of darker color on. Here we go. When I put her down, that one's a bit more opaque, whereas this purple, because this is going to be used for portraits, and purple's dynamite. You've got to be a little bit careful. It's a sheerer coverage. So it's not as opaque. I'll show you on my arm what I mean. See how it's a sheerer, the pigment is sheerer. So you've got, there's a combination of different things in each set for you to explore. But these colours for faces, oh yum, but they just give a little bit more of a fancy look. We'll play with those a little more as we go along. What can I show you next? Oh, I've got this right next to me, so let me talk about this. This is the brush buff set, and as part of it you've got, this is an actual brush, shampoo and conditioner, so that it can help you keep your brushes in tip-top condition, and she's the little figurehead for the whole collection. And this little silicone scrubber, I call this the little brush spa, the well side. This is where you can rub your brush and knock off some of that pastel so that you can keep creating. So if I pick up pastel from the pastel palette, for instance, and I want to swap colour, and I really want to get a smoother transition, I can pop my colour on like that, and then I can actually use the little brush scrubber to wipe my brush clean. That'll knock all of the pastel off. And then I've also got this side too. I actually use this more for washing as well. I put a little bit of the brush buff in, just pour that on, work it into the bristles, and then work it inside. Give my little brush a spa every so often. Very nice. So that is that cute little contraption. What else? What's next? What's next? Let me show you the Kalla Sticks. I love the Kalla Sticks. The Kalla Sticks are a water-soluble gel silky crayon, but of course they look like lipsticks, and they go on like lipsticks as well. Let's actually open up one of my journals. So this is one of my journals. Is this on screen, Gus? Yeah. Oh, that's the cover for Whimsical Girls. This is where I'm testing different things. This is images that got used on... I guess it's just letting me know. Is that better? Yeah. This is where all the images for the... oh, cool. Okay, I might bring it over that way a little. This is where the images for the Incredible Inks are all happening. And then just freeform play as well. And then I'm testing other things in the background, testing colours. This is testing... this is Velvet Pastel. Let's add a little more. So this is a gel. Oh, so cute. Look how the colour sits up. So this is on ink, Incredible Ink, which is a little bit water soluble. Because this is a gel formulation with the pigment trapped inside, it doesn't really interact with what's underneath. It doesn't come alive. So it sits up there looking beautiful and amazing, like the queen that it is. This is Neon Queen. It's just a gorgeous, even smells nice. Gorgeous, gorgeous thing. And the gold that is there, just let me show you. The gold is actually, can you see this metallic gold? It's actually the gold from my new Squid Ink set. So that actually comes with a refill. And sorry, beside the point, but I get excited about everything. And I love doing little dots. Look at this. Oh, yum. I need to use a brush, obviously. Let's use our finger. Oh, look at that. Is that turning up, guys? Can you see the gloriousness of that?
Oh, yeah. It's popping.
Woohoo! So I love a little bit of metallic, not too much, but a bit of metallic, bit of neon, because when, especially in a journal, when you turn the page, it catches the eye as it whizzes past, and it's just this glorious occasion. Okay, so seeing as we're on this nice little bright page, I'm going to add some of my Kalla Sticks just to show you how, not to the same extent as the Velvet Pastels perhaps, but it does sit up on the page as well. This dries down to a very, very matte finish. These are water soluble. So once these dry down, they dry down to a matte finish, not as velvety and matte as these. They're a different creature. However, I can add water to these and get them to have a little party. If I use the yellow, that's usually how you can see the difference in the sheerness. But it's holding its own, and we're on quite a dark blue. Other nice thing about Kalla Sticks is I can smudge them while they're still in there, before they've set, and I can mix these colours so I'll get a nice bit of orange. Oh, I love that. I might come in and mix it a little bit with my Velvet Pastel as well. So these for drawing are gorgeous. These for drawing, no. These are for little dib-dobs and highlights and cheeks and lips and small areas, contained areas of colours that you can dab on and work with. These ones you can draw with. Let's have a look. Oh, she's from my book. This is full of tests of incredible ink and my new Making Faces collection. So I've got the loose chunky colour of all the beautiful inks, and then I've added softness and sort of volume with the pastels and the drama sticks, the Kalla Sticks. This is Kalla Stick up here that is set and dried. I've got pen in here as well, all sorts of different things, and this is using one of my face stamps from my very first collection. This is the face stamp again. Drawing, unicorns, Frida. I have a bit of all my favourite things on here except, oh no, here's a mermaid. We have a mermaid. Mermaid, unicorn, Frida, hares, crowns. Yes, life is good. And drawing eyes. This is all the Velvet Pastels. I've got rub-ons here. Oh, my new comfort tissue. This is Ultimate pen in here as well, and some of the LTQ pen. I'm just going to add a little bit of this on here as we go past. One of my favorite things to do is to grab a journal and one tool and go through and try and add this on every single page. It's like a little test, and it also unifies the pages too. So, especially like if it's a colour, I think, ooh. What else? Oh, she's in one of the books, I think. We've got, is she on a rub-on? Backgrounds. Be an encourager. The world has plenty of critics already. This is Drama Stick in here, which I'll show you in a minute. Oh, I love this. One of my stencils. Let's do some drawing on her because she needs to be brought out a little bit of the page. I've got some of my new stamps. I've contoured the background. It's my colours, and then I've also gone through there with some of the Mermaid tail contouring brushes from one of my collections. I was saying the other day, I have 160 different art supplies at the moment. That's just in 2 years. Is that right, Gus? Yeah. It might be more than 160. Look how beautiful that is to draw with. So when I'm drawing hair, I start from where the hair grows out of the head, and I don't let the line go until I get to the end of the hair, no matter how long it is. So I start here and I keep my lines fluid. I say undulating, an undulating line. And I like to hold it at the back here it gives me less control and helps me flick those lines a little bit more. So this is a colour called Ameikamui. I think it's one of my most used. Pucker Up is certainly a big favourite. I'm going to add that to the lips a little here. And on my YouTube channel, I have got videos for just about all of these things. I still have Pallet Pastels and a few to go, but I'm working on it. I might try and do a little bit of skin color in here, I think, too. I've got a lot going on, but I do love what's going on in her face, these colors, so maybe I won't. Maybe I'm going to activate this. So yeah, let's make the hair darker, because what's happening in here in the background, whatever, but I do love what's going on in the background here and here. I think it's cool. So I'm going to use my new paintbrush set. I think this is the first time I've shown you. It's only just arrived, the final beautiful version. So it comes in this box, and then let me get it out. It's got this inner lining. This is a magnetic frame that you can hang your brushes in. Now I do have one that I'm already using, so I'm going to pop that one to the side and grab this one. So the magnetic frame, it's hard to show you from above like this, but they actually stick. So when you've washed your brushes, the reason I've done this is when you've washed your brushes, you can actually hang these ones upside down, and they can dry upside down, which helps them last longer. I also use this as a little memo spot. I've got some little fine magnets here, and I've just got this. If I'm looking at an inspiration photograph or something that I might want to include in my artwork, draw something from it, just gives you a little spot to hang things. It's actually a very handy little creature. So I've got that sitting up on top of the Palette Hotel with my brushes ready there to use. These are different to the Mermalicious brush set. These are a softer bristle. They're all synthetic, so they're cruelty free, but and they'll last a bit longer probably than a natural fiber, depending on what you're going to be using them on, of course. I do love natural fiber brushes too, though, but you know what? I just felt bad using them. The idea of the animals is just too, in my own collection, is too much for me. Not what I want to be doing. So they're synthetic, and I'm just going to just start working on this and just using the aqua pastel, just adding a little bit of water to it. And I want it to come and go. So I've got some of the lines. I might want to keep this broken pastel line on one side and have it disintegrate out into the colour on the other, so that I've got a variety of things. That just pleases. That's not a rule for everyone. That's just something that pleases me in particular. I can't remember what I've drawn these purple lines in the background in. I don't know if that's going to be water soluble or not. But I'm going to add a bit more. So I'm going to try and get this a little bit darker. I'm going to completely dissolve this. So I'm tinting the turquoise basically to a purple. How's everyone going, Gus? Any questions for me?
Yeah, do you have any more colours in the drama sticks?
I have many things planned. It all depends on the success of the range. That's just the commercial reality. Things are looking pretty good at the moment, but we just have to see what the response is from people, if they love this collection. And then of course, yes, I would love to add more colors. I already have them planned. And see, what I'm trying to do is just separate this from this and this, because it's chaos at the moment. And I've used my Kalla Sticks. One of the beautiful things about using Kalla Sticks on acrylic is that if I draw something on there, for instance, and I don't like it, I'm like, oh, I made a mistake, I can get that to just about disappear. Just a bit of water, gone. Some of the other things you can't do that with. I'm just going to quickly show you that I do have four crayon type things now. So we have the new Kalla Sticks, which are this gel lipstick formulation, smudgy and all the rest. These are the Aqua Pastels, and these are basically watercolor in a stick. They've got a different feeling. They're a lot harder compared to these. So these are good for actually drawing more fine details with. So this is for expressive play and whimsical enjoyment. And then when you want to get serious, or this is how I use them anyway, when I want to get a bit more serious, I need more detail, then I might move into these guys. Although, you know, they are a water-soluble thing, they feel completely different. I need philo vision, which could be used very badly in the hands of wrong people, I imagine. But then you could feel how different these are and what a different experience this is. And I'm all about the art experience, to be honest. Oh, yum. So these are fast, and this one can still be used that way, of course, but they're a bit more precise. Once I get to where I've got to a point where I know what I'm doing, that's when I might go with my Aqua Pastels now and add in a little bit more zhuzhing. The other thing is the colours are different in the different sets. So you can have all of them, and it's not an either or situation, it's an and. You need this and these. The other pastels, one of the other pastel sets I have, these are the Pallet Pastels. So these are like the crayons you had as a kid, just grown up. These have got more pigment. They're an oil and wax combination. They blend really nicely with each other. They come with a clear blender, which I actually love to do resist effects with. So if I put this in first as lines, when I go to add my watercolor over the top, it will fall off this and the background will still stay there. One tip, when you do get your Pallet Pastels, they all come like this because it looks prettier, but once you get them, turn them so that they're bottom to bottom, that they're bum to bum like this. Then they won't, you won't get colour picked up on these ones off its little body. So I'm going to add a little bit of colour with these. So these are a non-water soluble crayon. I'm also going to add a little bit of ooh la la in the eyes with this. But these are, like the Kalla Sticks, they're fun, whimsical. I feel a bit wild when I'm using my Pallet Pastels. Wild with power. And they've all got names after different energy. So they're a different animal entirely. And then the last ones are the gorgeous Drama Sticks, or Dramastics. My mother would always say, oh, you're so dramatic, Jane. These are the Dramatic Sticks. So I've got some colour swatches that they come with. So everything on the packaging, we try and sneak as much art in as we can and into the packaging. So you've got this little collectible art here that you can create with. I also have these coming as downloads. So if you mucked it up, or you need another one, or you want to have one of the swatch in here and a swatch in your journal, or if you've got a special swatching book, which is what I did at one point. Now I've just got journals that have everything everywhere. That's what's all here. So there's two sets, Warm Heart, and oh, put paint all over her. Sorry, darling. Let me just tidy you up there. Ocean Eyes and Warm Heart. And inside we have all these beautiful creatures. They come with their own sharpener because this is basically an oil pastel in a stick. So they can get a bit, they will make your sharpener a bit messy. And I'll show you how to sharpen them in a sec. I have a whole video on it as well, but let me just show you as well. So I've got all of these are the, and look, they've got gold foil, they've got French and English on them because they're super classy. Fire Inside, Meant to Be, oh gosh, I can't remember all the names. Hot Hands, I'm wearing this colour today. Feel It Still, Hands to Yourself and Rebellion. This is Watching You, Make Me Cry, Careful Creature. Oops, just turn it around like that. Careful Creature, Falling in Love, Smolder and Spark. Yeah, gorgeous. So I'll show you a little bit more of how these work in a sec. But let me just grab one here. Will this colour show up? No, let's do this one, this colour. And this is basically an oil pastel. Think of the smudgiest, softest oil pastel you can imagine living in a pencil. It's now living its dreams in a pencil body, and it's just, again, it's soft and smooth and delicious. Now, because it's got an oil base, because of its formula, you are going to need to let it dry before you put it away. So this one needs a little bit of a sharpen. She's been used a lot. She's a little favourite.
How would they blend with rubbing alcohol on a brush?
How would they blend with rubbing alcohol on a brush? I don't know. I do have some rubbing alcohol. Which product in particular were they talking about? Someone might have to do an experiment and tell me. But I do actually have some rubbing alcohol right here from another experiment. So the drama sticks, all we want to sharpen is the plastic. This is a special type of plastic that can be sharpened. They're based on eye pencils and nib pencils. Same thing with those. If you crank it, you can disturb the lovely little creature that lives within. So she's a delicate little creature. All we want to take off is the plastic. Not like with a coloured pencil where you end up with, you know, pigment everywhere. We want to preserve this, and you don't need it much. You don't really want more exposed than that. Even when they come to you, it's not much exposed. It's very pointy because it's come out of a mould. But when we just don't want that much, you just don't need it because it's so soft. If you have it long and you go to use it, it'll break. So we just want a little soft bit there. If it did break, then you would just pick that up and keep using it. Put it on a little Batten Blender and smudgify it. I can use this with the Kalla Sticks too. Did I show you that? And you can draw with these. They're not just for little dib dabs like I've been doing. You can certainly draw with these. Don't grind into the paper. Soft touch. Oil pastel, we hardly need to do anything. Almost draws on its own. You just sort of lead your hand in a direction and it follows along. Just follows along after you. Oh, it's just so much fun doing this. You can just leave it with its little lines like that, or you can come in with your finger. This is all skin safe, and blend it. Oh, so beautiful. Love. Okay, so I've put a little bit in her eyes. I think it's time to turn the page now. So that is the drama sticks. I have a whole video on them. The white is just so beautiful for adding little details to eyes. Let me get oh, and the other thing is these tins really are for getting them to you in pristine condition. Once you've got them, you don't need to keep them in the tins. They've been made so that this just can lift out. And then you've got this gorgeous tin. All the magic wands can fit in here, and the drama sticks. So you can use this as a little travel thing. You can fit your pencil sharpener in there. You know, I can pop all my magic wands and my glitzy markers or whatever else I wanted to. And I've got a lovely little tin. Also in the video about this, you'll also see where I've used this for my watercolors. You can fit, all you need to do is put these on magnets. Some people like, rather than having them all in one thing, you can fit all of these, all 3 sets of my watercolors, plus another 10 in the one tin. So you can have 10 half pans, empty half pans that you can put your favorite Daniel Smith or Schminker or some other beautiful watercolors. You can pop them there in there as well. Or you can just have my watercolors and, you know, a couple of brushes. The tin is a little bit deeper than a normal watercolor tin, so you can actually even put the watercolors in and put the brush on top and it will still shut. So you can fill it to the brim with whatever your heart desires. But I just love, I love beautiful tins. So you'll always find them as part of my collection. This white is from when I did the video, and I just wanted to show you how, the color of it, and of course white on white, but white on the plastic, beautiful. And that's already started to set, so good. So that is those, the drama sticks. But I don't keep them in there. I keep them in one of my little brush vases, and I've got a bit of washi tape on there for an eye. What are we going to talk about next? What else? What else? Any more questions for me, guys? All good? Okay. So let's just keep turning the pages here. All of these little marks are with paint over pens and with different things from my new collections. So the ultimate pens, a little bit of velvet pastels. Oh, I've got all these cute little faces in here. Let's do a little bit of drama stick in here. I'm just going to pop just loosely. This is a color called Hands to Yourself. I just want to show you how just how nice and expressive these are. So I've just got a little bit of skin tone there, just a lighter skin tone, and just popping in that, and then just popping in a little bit of the lip color. And before this has even dried, I can still, even though it's very oily and smudgy, I can still use my ultimate pen. So I might use, so the ultimate pens, let's talk about those. Ultimate pens come as singles, so you can collect up each color. There are, I have to actually count all the colors because I don't know. I can't recognize just by looking. I can't remember everything. Okay, there are 2 blacks, a gloss and a matte. So that is hot lace and black vinyl. Sorry, black lace and hot vinyl. And then we have Thriller Jacket, which is this glorious red. Oh my gosh, she needs a little bit in her lips there. She needs a little bit in her lips there. She needs some on her lips there. This is like a really amazing red pen, like a red pen unlike you've ever seen before because of the crazy ink.
Some people are very excited about these.
What? About the blend-ins? Oh yes, I showed those. But I will talk about those again. These are the this is Aquadisiac, which is a beautiful light aqua. So let's give her a little bit of aqua hair then. Okay, and then this dries waterproof, but if I get in there quickly, I can let it bleed out a little. But you have to be quick because once it dries, especially if I'm on the acrylic, I can get in there. But it's got a lovely minty green. Then I've also got Daisy Dukes, which is an indigo, and it's glorious. I'm going to give her a bob, a Chanel style bob. And again, let's get in a little bit of that just so you can see the undertones of the colour. But you've got to get in quick, like I said, because once the, this is a very waterproof, it's an amazing ink. Amazing ink. This is why it's the ultimate pen. And then it's brush tip so that it can go over a mixed media surface. Rollerballs, ugh, they gunk up. Just all the different tips. This type of brush tip can bend and go with you. And let me show you, where can I do a line? Here. So I can do thin, 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 thick, thin, 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 thick, thin, thick, thin, thick. in the video that I've created for these, if you listen to that, what a weird shape, I don't want that there. I'm going to put a bit of water on it and knock it back. In the video, I mentioned that, are you going to, do all your daily planning with this pen? Are you going to write your memoirs? No, you're not. This is for finishing touches and a little bit of mark making for the princess effect. This is the queen of pens. It's the ultimate pen. So we don't want to... She's not for everyday use. They're fancy. Well, it is for everyday use, but... This is made in the suede. I'm just giving her a little bit of ooh la la while I'm here. She had a bit of a strange eye situation going on. She is one of the rub-ons, I do believe. So that's made in the suede. We had Daisy Dukes, named after, of course, Daisy Duke from Dukes of Hazzard and her little shorty shorts. And then we have the, if these are the queens, the ultimates, and these are the empress. This is a silver. It's called Silver Shadow. Where can I show it to you? You'll see. I'll have to put it on here. So it does have a silver ink. It's a little bit translucent and it's full of mica. I don't know if you can see that shimmer, but it is twinkling up a little storm right here. And excuse me, Diamante. It's just beautiful. It's based on the look of an eyeliner, of course. Oh, excuse me, gross. This is Golden Age, and it is a gold, but it's got a nice light golden undertone to it. And then off you go with your little bit of your marks. As it dries, it gets glimmerier and glimmerier. But I was going to say, let's start with this guy. Oh, and then its friend is the LTQ. So this is part of the same family. The tips are a little bit different. They have a different shape. It's going to be hard for me to show that on camera. You have to be up a lot closer. They do have a slightly different shape. The formula is slightly different. Do you need both? Yeah, excuse me. This is shaped like a feather. Hence the licensed to quill. It's a James Bond reference. So we've got that, I'm popping that colour even on that smudgy drama stick. So it's oily, and yet still I can put this pen on top of it. It's amazing. So I'm just going to put in a little details. I love to see who's going to fall out, who is living in all of my pens and who's going to come out for a little party. You just don't know. I don't know who is living in there until they decide to fly out. I love the coloured bottoms on these because they just make it so much easier for me to find everything. Just make sure that's clean. Pop a little highlight in there. Highlight, bit of a highlight. Oh, hello. How are you doing today, darling? Coming for a little visit on the page. Oh, I quite like this page. It was a page of nothing before, and it's going to be quite cool. I'm going to use a little bit of LTQ just to get one more face on here before we carry on our little journey. Can I give them all side-eye? She's going to have severe side-eye. Okay. Different lips. I'm going to... Well, I did start out with this guy. That's what I wanted to show you. Just to go around her chin a little there and define that a little bit more. And then, so this has got a nice soft broken line. My finger is a bit grubby from all of the other things, but I can give her, or maybe I'll use I've got a clean finger right here. This ink might not be dry yet, so just be careful of smudging it, but I can give her a little bit of a slight smoky eye, and I can soften that drama stick out here as well. And then we can continue on our merry way. Okay, that's what are we going to do next? This is just all different things. Incredible ink. Oh, here are my incredible ink girls from Fabulous Figures. And oh, that's a rub-on, colour tests, stencil test, incredible ink, Test of things, test of things. Oh, Nude Fairy. Incredible ink. This is all paint from my collection. Let's have a look in this one.
Should the ultimate pens be stored on their sides? And the gold and silver ones should.
Okay, I think that all pens do prefer to be kept on their sides, unless you're using them all the time. So with my ultimate pens, you know, I'm using them at least once every couple of days, like frequent use. But really, technically, speaking from experience, all pens just prefer to be on their side. It keeps the ink in equal distribution. However, I do keep these in a jar. They do have, it is a vacuum situation inside, so technically it shouldn't really be a problem. I keep them tipped on their bottoms, so they're ready for me to use this way at all times. Things that really do need to lay down flat, I think, and I have markers that I've had for 30 years. Can you imagine how old someone could be to have a marker that's 30 years? I found them the other day and they're all still juicy because they're on their sides. So I keep my smooth markers on their sides. I actually have them in the Pallet Hotel, which I will show you at the end, next to me there. She is one of the new stencils. I've got Silver Screen and Golden Age Ultimate Pen as a bit of gold highlights in there. I sort of have to look ahead a little bit to make sure I don't have secrets in here that I can't show you. This is the comfort tissue. It's so handy in the little stickers. This is Ultimate Pen. All of this is Ultimate Pen, all the hair. And I've got Drama Stick in here to give her a smoky eye. This colour in here is probably Incredible Ink. It's just such a versatile ink, that ink. I've got a bit of the comfort tissue in there. So as a, you know how I was saying, as a challenge to myself, especially if I'm having a day where I feel like being creative but I'm not too sure what I want to do, or I'm feeling a bit fragmented and I need to settle into being creative, I get one product, one thing, and I make myself use it. So another thing to do is to get one set of rub-ons, or I like to call them journal tattoos because rub-on sounds totally gross. So I might get a sheet of journal tattoos or whatever it is, or some of my comfort tissue, which is the packet with the little, it's prints from stuff I've collected up in Paris flea markets. It's all these little stars, and I've put them on I challenge myself to put it on every single page, one somewhere. And it's actually, it sort of gives an integration to the whole journal, and it helps me look at things or my supplies in a different way, and I find it to be a really good little creative game to play with myself. Let's talk about this girl here. She is the queen of the Matchmaker paint set. So she's here on the face base, and then her hand is on each of the Lightening Drops and the Darkening Drops. So that she's reminded me to tell you about this. I'm so happy about this. Mixing up skin color can be really a bit of a chore for people. So I prefer my skin tone in a bottle. And this little set helps you draw all sorts of skin colors. And also you can use it to use your shadows and highlights as well. So the face base is a medium tone. On its own, you can use this as a more tanned or olive, or like a warmer toned skin. And then you can also add your darkening drops to make the skin tone deeper and deeper and deeper, and you can just use that on its own as well. It's a beautiful deep dark tone. I do have another even deeper brown in my collection that you can even take this a little step further. I've also got other colors in my other collections where you can take the skin tone warmer. Oh no, this one's better. Go warmer again, or cooler. So I'm really trying to get a little bit of all the world in here so that you've got as much creative flexibility as you can. And then these are the Lightning Drops. This is probably almost so light you can hardly see it on its own, but it's great for highlights, as well as if you're going to draw someone that has very, very light skin. It's very, very matte. Very, very matte indeed. Also, I've got a whole video on this, but I just wanted to show you because I don't like repetition in any of my collections, and I work very hard to make sure that you don't have repetition happening, so you're not buying the same thing twice. So this is this one. This is the new Matchmaker set, the new acrylics. They're very, very matte, really creamy, almost like a whipped sensibility. And then these are some of the colours from my current collection. So this is the Jane's Light Portrait set. This is the neutral set. So the names aren't on these, but this is Bear, Bunny, Fox. This is these ones. And then this is Highlight and Buff from my other little paint sets. And there are more colours in those paint sets, but these are kind of the skin tones. I mean, this is very fake tan, but you can still use it as part of that skin tone family. But just to show you that they're all these different colours, but these are the new ones. This is them in a little swatch test as well. So this is a video, and this is where when I've been painting these, I used my mixing palette, this little guy from my, oh, I can't find it to hand, but my mixing palettes, and I just mixed all the colour paint left that I had, and I just did a sort of face shape, and then later on I've come back and added some details with, this is the LTQ. Oh, it's got some more. And she needs a little bit of a highlight. She needs a little bit more definition in there. I'm going to give her a little bit of this. Was that a question, Gus?
Yeah, can the face base be mixed with your acrylic paint?
Oh, of course, yes. It's all acrylic. So it'll be very happy to, it'll mix. That was a good question. It'll very happily mix. So really will extend. You can extend the colour, the range of skin tones. This is quite a peachy neutral skin tone, but if you add some of the others, you can make it a warmer skin tone, cooler skin tone as well. But that's all of the beautiful swatches of those. But I do have a whole video on that, of mixing it and using it and all of that fun stuff. Oh, I love my paint. This is all my paint pens. Paints and paint pens. Let's get to more of the makeups. Okay, the making faces. She has got a little bit of making faces in her. This is from some of the rub-ons. This is all the new collection. Also using my little chalk pastels from my first collection. So if we compare these to my new set, these are a totally different formula. They are a chalk, and they're very, very sheer. That is exactly how they were intended to be, as a little sheer bit of coverage for eyes, and like as a little travel set. I adore them, and I especially adore these are little cream pastels that are nice for the lips too. Again, different tones than what I have for the Kalla Sticks and the Velvet Pastels. So you can just keep adding those two, and they all mix together as well. So you can have lots of fun mixing all the different things. This is Mermaid Marker, and this might be Mermaid Marker 2, I think. Mermaid Marker. Mermaid Marker is the most vivid of all of my inks. Very water reactive. This is watercolor. Oh, Why is that like that? Oh, secret things in there that you can't look at. Sorry. I need to make that into a little something something. Okay, so here, I drew her after seeing Wonder Woman. The first Wonder Woman, which I thought was marvellous. And this is the Matchmaker paint. Building it up to a nice, you know, rich, deep skin tone for her. I've got I think that's actually the gold Mermaid Marker in her eyes, but I've got Drama Stick and also mixing in coloured pencil. Coloured pencil works well with all of these things as well. My magic wands. Here is, I think that's my paint. The new Velvet Pastels here, and the new gold around her eyes. Yum. Hello ladies. Having a swim there, are we? Oh, that's her there. Hello. She spoke fluent, fantastic. Has she been in something? I think she is the new stencil. Yes, I think that's that face ended up in the new stencil collection. Let me check. Yes, that's her. Oh, this is fun for me. I forget. So this is the Artemology collection. The collection here is Making Faces. This is Artemology. Comes in its own binder. It has stencils. They're the stencils from my first collection. Stamps and dies. So I'm just building another folder of these because I need these down here. And I've also got my office. And I need a whole collection here and there. So that is where she ended up. Oh, there's Beyonce. What would Beyonce do? These are glitzy markers, Matchmaker paint, paint over pens, and all the pen work in here is all Ultimate Pen. Ultimate Pen up on top of the comfort tissue. It works very well. In the background here is one of the tissue papers from my last collection, the Roll of Faces. Bit of a die cut here. I'm not sure what's going on in the background there. This is the girl from, she's in all of the Michael stores on all of the signage, and she's also here. So I sort of think of her as the figurehead for this collection. And she's just very beautiful. So this is Jellyfish Mermaid Marker. And then all on here is the pastels and different things from the new collection. Over here, we've got one of my dies. So I've cut that out with one of the papers from the Jane Davenport paper pad. I'm having a slightly surreal moment. Oh my gosh. I almost don't have to use anything other than my things. It's crazy. Crazy awesome. These are die cuts on here. This is rub-ons, some magic wands. Oh, aqua pastels. Sometimes planned, but sometimes wing it. Oh, that's very true. She is in my Fabulous Figures book. I drew her and then realised I had drawn her hand the wrong way. Oh. So this is all different things. It had a bit of glitter on it. That's what made me go, ooh. They might be secret things. Ah. Aqua pastels, new washi tape, things. Backgrounds, waiting for something to be created on top. So that's a little march through some of my journals. Now I better show you some more of the creations that we also have in this collection. There's the Foundation Layers stencil set. So do I have that in here? Did I use that in here somewhere? I think I did. These are the Velvet Pastels. Oh, here she is. So pretty. So this set, you've got the hair and you can change the hair around. It's really very versatile. You've got the jawline, 3 sets of eyebrows, 3 sets of noses, some lips, 3 sets of eyes. And then you've also got the neck, so you can use it this way or this way, and some accessories as well. Oh, she might need a little bit of a bit of ooh la la. Maybe she was off to Chanel or something. So I haven't put fixative on her yet, but if I've decided that I've finished her, if I'm keeping this very light, bit of the Palette Pastels around the eyes, some of the, I think I use smooth markers for her iris colour. This is the Velvet Pastel. This is the new Squid Ink in probably Sandy Toes or Sunkissed. Might even be Suntan, but this is on a video, of course, so you can actually see this unfolding. That's the foundation layer set, and this set actually comes with my first mixed media board. So it's got Paint Too Faint on the back, so it's already been instilled with arty goodness, so you can create on that. And this is like a bonus, you know, rather than the set coming to you just on a bit of cardboard. This is actually something you can create on. You can create a lovely bit of artwork. Here's something that I created using, looks like a tin of glances, some eyes from there, and some stamps from the Mermaid, Tin of Mermaid set. I've got drama sticks and License to Quill and ultimate pens for the eyes and velvet pastels and whatnot everywhere else. So that's the foundation layer set. I've also got a face chart book, and this, oh my gosh, so I haven't finished the video for this yet. Where is this girl that I started at the front? Was she in here? Oh, I've done so many videos and edited so many things, I've started to lose my mind a bit. Okay, so she is, maybe it's in this. Aha, okay. I just wanted to show you a special feature of this. So these are the different face charts. There's multiples of each one. I also did some full girls as well, so that you've got lots and lots and lots of things to play with. But this is what the makeup artist has when you go to get your makeup done, and they help you remember what it is. It's also for makeup artists to practice looks, you know, if they've got something fancy coming up, or they're doing like makeup for a fashion parade or something. They can, you know, talk to their client and show them, you know, what it is that they're going to create. But of course we can have fun with this as well. So I've used Ultimate Pen on this one, and obviously the Palette Pastels, etc. But in the back of this comes some sheets of tracing paper, and you might be wondering what that is all about. Okay, let me show you. This is how I got these cut cheekbones, this David Bowie effect. I can do it on her a little as well. And you can use this to mask. So I'm going to grab this, and I could either use the brush, or I could use, oh, there are so many choices. Just in passing, I've got this on the video coming, but when you get the blend-in set, this is just a piece of the packaging, this beautiful blue card, and I just sticky taped it, sellotaped it to the back of it because it just looked pretty. So that is why mine has a blue back, and yours can as well if you would like it to. So first of all, I just need to get a bit of a clean edge. So this has pastel in it already. So the way for me to clean that is just give that a clean first. Just knock off any loose product that might be on there. It's probably exactly the color that I was about to pick up anyway, but whatever, it's all good. And I want to get her cheekbone from about the middle of her ear coming down to her mouth, and I'm just going to get a really sharp little cheek color in there just to show you a bit of a sharp cheekbone. Can you see that? Can you see that on screen, Gus?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just gives you a whole nother little creative option. So that's just using the edge. If you wanted to, you could trace this, trace the face out, and then cut the face out, leaving just the tracing paper around the edges, and keep your paper really clean. So you can use it that way as well. You can also shape this or cut it, so you can either get a torn edge or a shaped edge, and use this to help shape the pastel wherever you're putting it. So I'm going to go for the middle of her ear again, down to the cheek, to the lips, and just add a little bit of high colour up here, and I might change it to a lighter colour down here. But I don't want to come all the way to her mouth, but I've got this angles coming up. I can also angle this as well to get a different look happening. I love doing this. It's really fun. So there are quite a few pieces of 6 pieces of the tracing paper in the back of there for masking techniques. A lot of fun. So you could just mask out the eye, or if you wanted to just put pastel in a certain area, because you can come in and chisel things out and remove things with a eraser, but if you're adding them on top of other colors, you can't erase what it is, the last little layer. So, but you can use this masking technique to control where you're putting some of the colors, right? So cool. So that is I saw a contoured little book, and I've pulled mine all apart. So yours comes with, it actually has instructions in the front. Oh, I can't find the pristine version. But anyway, it has a little, oh, here we go. In the front of it is an actual little instructions of 3 different ways, or 2 different ways to create some different faces, and using different skin tones as well. So that is a really nice little versatile pad, and the paper is fantastic. It's a good mixed media paper that will accept just about everything you throw at it. Have I shown you the whole collection? I think I nearly have, I feel like I have. I'm just going to show you one more thing. This is the gorgeous open and shut case. Oh, she's upside down, hang on. So the reason that I've designed it this way, so much thought has gone into this. I've bought a lot of bags in my time, a lot of bags, and I keep buying them because I just haven't found the right one for my art supplies. And well, I designed my own, my ultimate. So what I needed to have for a start was I wanted it to be clear, because A, that looks cool, and in Japan, the massive trend, oh my goodness, so trendy, so fashion forward. I wanted it to be clear, and then I also wanted it to be suitcase style. So it's got this flat top, and it's got a well. If it's got, a well on each side, then when you go to put it together, everything falls out, from whichever side you've got to lift up. It's annoying. So mine is like that, so that it's easy to pack. You can just open it up and pop your things in. The pouches are designed to sit like this, side by side, and this longer one on top. This one is designed with square edges so that the palette pastels can all fit in there. So all 4 can actually fit in, like so. Plus you've got your mermaid shimmers as well. They can fit in too. So that just can fit there, and there's still room, a little bit of room for Batten Blenders, or if you had something else you wanted to put in there, easy. This is more like a cosmetics shape, like a little toiletry bag shape. Such a good shape for getting in and out of. You open it up, it opens up nice and wide, so it's easy access. And I'm just, what I've got in here is more to show you, you can put your more bulky things in here. So I've got my paint, I've got my blenders. Oh, that's where I put all the clean ones. Look how beautiful they are when they're pristine and new. They won't stay like that because we want to use them and make them look as horrible as possible, but that's what they're like when they're all new. These are so soft and squishy. They're great for pouncing through stencils. You can watch my video on that. And this one, oh, it's got a bit more grit. Well, it's not gritty at all, it just has a bit more body. I've got my Batten Blenders. If I was traveling, I probably wouldn't take all of them, but you know, maybe. But it's more just to show you that, you know, you can put those bigger things in there, and I could still fit tons of stuff. Let's just scrunch things in there. Oh, do you fit? Oh, I don't like you in there. No, I don't want to put my mermaid brushes in there, but I could put my big one in there because she's got her little house, her little cap, so she can go in there with her little shower cap on. Okay, darling, in you go. And then in here, this has been designed for all of the long things like the ultimate pens and the pencils and all of the other things. And what have I got in here? Oh, must be prizes for a giveaway. Oh, this is just lots of LTQ pens, and I would put all of my paintbrushes and all of my drama sticks and those sorts of things in here. And I've designed it so that it is long enough. You can have your pencils, magic wands, whatever, and you've still got room at the end for washi tape and a pencil sharpener, because when you're traveling, you kind of need those essential things. So I can't leave the house without that, and pencil sharpener for the drama sticks and pencils. A lot of thought has gone into all of this. The zips are really nice quality, so they should last you. The prints that are on here, this has been created with making faces. And this one here is actually from one of my test papers from when I was in the lab, testing colors, formulas, tweaking things, drawing with different bits and pieces, and that's why that's where we've got this cool graffiti print. So she is on there. Got my things here, and then I can do this up. Oh, and I still have room to put my whatever else I need. Some papers. Oh, there's some girls that I've already started from making from the contour. She saw she contoured face chart set, so I pop them in there. I could put a bit of a small journal. I think the only thing I didn't talk about was actually the rub-ons, but I can just show you those as we are at the end. Okay, let me show you. Oh, I do want to swing the camera back around, so this is all a mess. I've made a mess. It's a glorious mess. These are the Masquerade journal tattoos. So it comes with 4 sheets. So I've got multiples here of everything. And this has got false eyelashes and eyes that you can cut. The quality of these is so good. Tiaras. Who doesn't need a tiara? Crowns, flowers, feathers. And of course the Masquerade lace masks. These are Venetian. And then there's also a page of beautiful girls that you can play with as well. So I've got prototypes mixed in here, so they might not be the exact ones that we had in the end, but they're a bigger than normal size for journal tattoos, and they're just gorgeous. So the way to use a journal tattoo is we open up. Let's do it on one of these, actually. We could add some false eyes. She's got the journal tattoo eyes on her. In my mixed media group, I've been doing videos, sneak preview videos every day. And you can see more of these, what I've been working on, if you haven't already seen them. Suddenly couldn't find any scissors. So I'm just going to cut these mega eyelashes out. And then I'm going to work out which one. So I'm just going to take the backing paper off for a second, just so I can audition and see. Oh, lady. Or do I go, which ones? I think I might have to go the full drag queen. No point mucking around. We want the full set of triple lashes. Maximum effort. Look at that. Excuse me, I'm dying. So cute. Okay. Any more questions, Gus, while I've got while I'm doing this? Oh, they fit perfectly too. So if you've got any questions for me, I really hope you've enjoyed this time together. If you want to interact further, the best place is the Mixed Media group. Oh, I've got to tell you the that last, what do we call it? Art prompt for October. Let's put these on first. Oh, I didn't do a very good job on that side. So it comes with the little pop stick applicator. Much easier to put on than false eyelashes, let me tell you. Oh, come on, Jane. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Eyelashes for the gods. Eyelashes for the gods. Where is the... Look at that. Okay, so I'm going to flip my camera around so there'll be a bit of seasickness for a second. Okay. Ta-da. Oh, double chin city. That's not what we like. Ew. Okay. Why did I fling the camera around? Hello. I don't want to fling the camera around. I'll do this. Oh, so I just wanted to show you. This is the Pallet Hotel, which has everything. Well, not everything, but a lot of the things fit in. So we've got the penthouse where all of the Velvet Pastel girls are in their beautiful dresses. They're having a party, a champagne cocktail party up at the up on the penthouse there. And then in all of the floors, this is where the palette pastels can fit. You've got another shelf to put whatever you like on there. I put my tin of glances. Down the bottom in the lobby, I put my blend-in set. So I've got them at all times. I've also got my Shimmering Mermaid pastels down there also. And I've got another one next to it. I've got my Magnetic Attraction, that gorgeous magnetic paintbrush frame, paint to faint, on there. And this is where I can keep my watercolors. Sorry?
Move your finger.
Oh. Oh, that's so funny. Did I have it covered for everything?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Do I need to start again?
No, that's fine.
That's okay. I've got my watercolors there. My Kalla Sticks, my smooth markers, and in the lobby we have the Pallet Pastels and Aqua Pastels. And then I just need to put, I took those out of there for the broadcast, but these all fit back up into there as well. So it's highly, highly, highly usable. And then in my little vase, I've got all my other bits and pieces. Yeah, okay. So, how good was that? Oh my gosh, how long have I been talking to? 400 years. Okay, so the prompt, so that you can win, is, part of the prizes, is kiss and make up. Kiss and make up. So that is the prompt for today. So the idea being is you have to have joined in today to get that so that you can enter for the whole competition. Big prize, this, the making faces things. But you still have to do the artwork for all of October. It's just very, very important that, you create. So we will have the drawing of that after October. You don't have to get everything done on every single day. I'm not going to be there to see it. But what I will ask for is it'll be inside my Mixed Media group on Facebook. That's where the whole competition is being held. Yeah, so jump in there and upload your artwork so that you're sharing. And yeah, you're just adding to a really positive creative community. So were there any other little questions? Angus will help me with those as well. I really hope that you enjoyed this, and that if you're watching this in the future, of course the competition won't be going anymore, but you go and check out the collection as well. Super excited about the whole thing. If you want there's also videos on every single element. Actually, not all of them are up yet at the moment, but they will be. And I've also put them on my website. So my website, janedavenport.com, is quite a treasure trove of information. I try and do a video for all of my creations so that it gives you an idea of how to use them, how to look after them if they need any special instructions, how to clean them if they need that sort of thing, how to use them, and just general tips and tricks. I've also got workshops, online workshops that I teach in. I see myself primarily, that's really my real job, that's what I really do, is teach and share. Yes, so thank you very much for joining me. I know this was a long one. It's just been so much fun creating this and then being able to share everything with you, because a huge group of people have to work together to make all of this happen and to make this entomologists dreams come true. So thank you to my team at Spellbinders, especially Robin and Josie, but especially Robin. And yes, I will see you in the Facebook group. That's where all the interaction occurs. And I quite often do little live chit-chats and arty bits and pieces. That's where all the inspiration is. You can also follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. I'm always sneak peeking and showing things and sharing bits and pieces of my life there. And I think that's everything. Is there anything else you can think of, Gus? Oh, who I'm talking, that's Gus there.
Just that we'll get things sent as soon as we can.
Oh, yes. And the things are in my store, janedavenport.com. You can also...
Store's having a bit of a hard time. Just give it some time.
Oh, Angus has said the store is being crushed. Absolutely crushed. Thank you so much for crushing it. But yeah, patience may be needed if you can't get exactly what it is that you want. Not everything is available today, and of course we will be getting more things in if we run out. As is with Michael's, there are already things starting to sell out, and of course people just the stores will get more things in for you. You can always ask one of the sales associates to assist you if you need help ordering, and michaels.com will have the collection in the next week or so, and then you can order and things can be delivered for free to your favorite Michaels store. Yes, so thank you for joining me, and I shall see you here again, or on Insta, or Facebook. I kind of live on in my Facebook group and Instagram, but Facebook for interaction. It's the easiest, it's the best. Have a great day. Bye. I don't know what button to press. Okay.